Have you ever prayed with everything inside you and wondered if your words were reaching anyone at all? Have you ever sat in the quiet, hoping for even the smallest sign that God was listening? Many people carry that question silently, unsure if their prayers still matter. And if you're here right now, it's probably because you're tired of waiting for something to change, and you're looking for clarity. Stay with me. What you're about to hear will show you why your prayers are not forgotten, and why God is far closer to your situation than you think. What if I told you that God has never overlooked a single word you've prayed? Every tear, every whisper, every moment you reached for Him, none of it has passed by unnoticed. What if I told you that silence does not mean He stepped away, and waiting does not mean your request has been refused? Sometimes the quiet moments feel the hardest, but they are not empty. They hold purpose, direction, and a timing you may not see yet. And right now, you're closer to understanding that than ever before. Stay with me, because once you see how God responds to His children, your view of prayer will change entirely. Let's begin with this truth. God hears you the moment your heart reaches for Him. Isaiah describes it this way: "Before you call, I will answer." That means your prayer doesn't travel through barriers or obstacles. It goes straight to the One who already knows what you need before you speak it. Every whisper, every tear, every quiet request you barely manage to express is fully known to Him. Nothing about your prayer is overlooked or delayed in His presence. Long before you see anything change around you, God has already begun working within you, around you, and ahead of you. Think of someone praying for direction. They may ask God for clarity about a decision, and at first, nothing seems different. But while they're wondering if their prayer made any impact, God is already aligning conversations, opportunities, and guidance that will become clear at the right moment. What looked like stillness was actually preparation. Your prayer is heard instantly, but the unfolding of the answer happens in a way that leads you wisely and gently toward what God has prepared for you. Another reason your prayer is never ignored is this: God responds according to perfect timing. When He waits, it isn't rejection, it's strategy. He sees every detail from beginning to end, and He knows exactly when an answer will carry the greatest impact and bring the most growth. Think of a seed. It doesn't rise from the ground on the same day it's planted. First it settles, then it roots. Then it strengthens beneath the soil where no one can see it. Only after that hidden work does it break through. In the same way, God often works in places you cannot observe, shaping the path long before the answer becomes visible. There are moments when He is arranging the environment around you, shaping people who will be part of your journey, and opening opportunities that require preparation. What feels like waiting is actually God putting everything in place with intention and care. So remember this: while you're waiting, God is working. There are moments when a prayer feels unanswered, not because God ignored it, but because He protected you through the delay. Some requests are held back for your safety, your growth, and your future well-being. God will never release something into your life that would harm you. He gives what strengthens you, shapes you, and moves you toward purpose. This is why certain doors remain closed, even when you knock with everything you have. Think about the relationship you hoped would work out, only to realize later that it would have weakened your peace. Or the job you wanted so badly that never came through, but months later a better opportunity appeared, one that fit you in ways you didn't expect. Or the path you wanted to take that suddenly closed, only for you to see later that it would have taken you away from what God intended for you. God's no is often a greater yes, dressed in a different form. When He delays something, He is not holding you back. He is guiding you forward with wisdom far beyond what you can see in the moment. Another truth to remember is that your prayer is not isolated. It's part of a much larger story God is writing in your life. What you're facing right now may feel personal and heavy, but God is weaving it into a plan that reaches beyond this moment. Prayer isn't only about receiving an answer, it's about being aligned with God's purpose. Through each prayer, He draws you closer to His direction, His character, and His wisdom. There are times when the situation remains the same, not because God is ignoring you, but because He is shaping something inside you that could not grow any other way. Sometimes God doesn't change your situation because He's using it to change you. He works through challenges to strengthen your faith, deepen your understanding, and prepare you for what comes next. Your prayer is not just a request, it's part of God's ongoing story in your life, one that leads you toward greater purpose. Here's something many people don't realize. Your prayers do not fade away. Scripture describes prayers rising before God like incense, carefully gathered, deeply valued, and never forgotten. This means every prayer you've ever spoken has been received with attention and care. God collects your prayers. None expire. None disappear. None are ignored. Even the prayers you whispered in exhaustion, the ones you prayed years ago, the ones you prayed with hope that later turned into doubt, He still holds them all. You may forget the prayers you prayed, but God never does. In His perfect time, He brings forward what was placed in His hands, and He does it with a wisdom that sees far beyond the moment you first prayed. Nothing you've brought to Him has been wasted. To the one who feels worn out, to the one who wonders if your voice still reaches heaven, hear this clearly. God has never stepped away from you. Not for a moment. If you feel forgotten, understand this. God is closer than your next breath. He sees the weight you're carrying, the questions you've been holding, and the strength it takes to keep believing. And even when you don't notice it, He surrounds you with grace that lifts, restores, and renews. This is not the end of your story. What you've been praying for is not beyond God's reach. Your answer may not come how you expect, but it will come. Hope is rising, renewal is taking shape, and God is guiding you toward the very place He has prepared for you. If this message spoke to you, hold on. Your prayer is already answered. It's simply waiting for the moment God chooses to reveal it. If you felt encouraged today, share this with someone who needs the same strength. Like, comment, and let others know they are not alone in what they're facing. And remember this as you go. God has heard you. God is moving, and your story is about to shift.